Straight ahead on 12 News Weekend, a Brooklyn Park noise issue settled with a boombox. Then an artistic hint of Japan seen high above in New Hope. But first, a big mess at a Little League ball field.
It hurts very much.
And an expensive price tag to clean it up. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us on 12 News Weekend. I'm Delane Cleveland.
And I'm Shannon Slatton. On a weekend when the focus should be on baseball, the Brooklyn Center Baseball Little League could be out of the game after someone dumped an expensive load of trash on its property.
I just don't know what people are thinking when they're bringing stuff down here, what we're supposed to do with it.
This is the spot where the illegal dumpings have occurred. The area is located between two fields at 60th and Vincent. About 2 weeks ago, someone dumped concrete, dirt, and other junk on the land. Friday, another pile of concrete, dirt, and tree stumps was discovered. Now the nonprofit Little League must find a way to clean it up, and it's going to be an expensive fix. Two estimates are around $18,000 each.
If we have to come up with $18,000, I don't know what our league will do because it won't have $18,000. What, do the kids not get uniforms next year? They just play in their street clothes? I don't know what we're gonna do. Kids could be out of the game.
Brooklyn Center police are investigating the incident.
The Wayzata School District is trying to figure out a crowded school problem. One solution isn't sitting well, though, with parents. Right now, for example, kindergartners from Birchview Elementary are in classrooms at Central Middle School because their elementary school is full. To ease the crowding at elementary and middle schools, the district and a parent-led committee are proposing boundary changes. If approved, the boundary changes would affect about 1,200 students who would go to different schools starting in the 2016-2017 school year.
It's very hard, and nobody takes lightly transitioning children. We brought a group of 19 community members that did some really deep work, thoughtful work. We asked them to really do their best to be objective and look across the whole district.
An 8th elementary school is also being built to accommodate the growing district. The Wayzata School Board is not expected to make a final decision on the boundary changes until its meeting on June 8th. At long last, a Brooklyn Park noise issue in city parks has been settled, at least for the time being.
It's been an ongoing debate that weighed cultural differences with the rights of homeowners. Now, after a 4-3 vote, the city council approved a temporary solution, one that would require residents to rent a boombox.
I just want to come up here, hang out with friends, or golf like this.
On a perfect spring day in Brooklyn Park,
Just peaceful. I think it's quiet most of the time, actually.
it doesn't take much convincing to get people outside.
Well, we just got some fried onions. Brat's going over there. We had some veggie burgers and some chicken. And
Especially when grilling is involved.
a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning in them, a lot of butter, because everything's better with butter.
Bernie Krause joined his Target coworkers at Oak Grove Park for a little team building.
Get together, talk a little bit, have some food, and hang out.
One thing this barbecue didn't have was amplified sound, which is currently banned in all city parks.
If it gets too loud, then yeah, somebody's going to complain eventually.
That will all change come June 19th, as long as park goers pay a $35 permit fee to rent a boombox from the city.
It sounds a little odd, renting a boombox.
We have iPhones now, so unless they're compatible with that, but I've not had much use with a boombox before, so.
Getting the city to come to that decision was no simple walk in the park.
If there was ever a case when we're forcing a solution, this is it.
For more than an hour Tuesday night, the Brooklyn Park City Council debated whether to adopt a pilot program to allow amplified sound at Oak Grove Park from Friday through Sunday with a special permit.
These parks are for everybody. They're not just for the user of the shelters, they're for everybody in this community.
Homeowners near Oak Grove Park have complained in the past of the music being too loud.
People want to enjoy their time here, but they also need to have a reasonable level of noise.
Say hi. Hi.
Sharon Ronning visits frequently with her two grandchildren.
Well, I think you have to reach a happy medium to please everybody.
Whether renting a city-owned boombox and having park employees measure decibel levels provides that happy medium remains to be seen.
I mean, most people have Bluetooth radios and stuff and Bluetooth little speakers that they're going to take along anyhow, so I don't know. It sounds a little weird.
Well, this pilot program will run from June 19th through Halloween. Long-term, Brooklyn Park would still like to come up with a larger, more permanent location where people can hold parties and play music.
In our weekend review, a new development project gets the green light for a rapidly growing area of Brooklyn Park. The Stone Mountain Plaza project at the northeast corner of Zane Avenue and Oak Grove Parkway calls for an indoor dog daycare, as well as a Grand Slam recreation facility that includes indoor batting cages, mini golf, and laser tag. Another part of the project is a mental health facility for children ages 5 to 18. A restaurant is also planned for the site. In Brooklyn Center, a big step toward building the first new apartments in the city since the 1970s. The last tenant occupying the former Brookdale Square shopping center, Pep Boys, is moving out. And in a few days, the old Brookdale 8 movie theater will be demolished. The rest of the shopping center will come down before the end of the year. The demolition will make way for work on new market rate apartments. And the city of Plymouth has a new tool to alert residents about emergencies, such as a major traffic accident or a weather event. Alert Plymouth launches on Monday. It allows city officials to send out mass notifications via phone call, text message, or email. Residents can sign up to receive alerts on the City of Plymouth's website.
This week, the New Hope Water Tower became a canvas for the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. The tower is one of 3 metro sites that the MIA picked to bring art experiences outside of museum walls. The waves on the tower are from one of the museum's pieces called Under the Wave off Kanagawa. There's also artwork on the water towers in Minnetonka and Chisago City. The artwork will be up until September. Well, coming up on 12 News Weekend, a Breck teacher who has helped open eyes about the world's most populous country.
And then later in sports, the Maple Grove softball team wraps up a section championship.
But first, Monday stays milder than another heat surge with muggy 80-degree weather.
A Little Music helped Prism raise cash for its food shelf and clothing operations in Golden Valley. The Taste of the Burbs is their biggest fundraiser. It was this last week. They aim to raise $50,000 at Thursday night's event. Prism officials say the need continues to grow as more families are coming in who have never needed their services before. Perhaps you remember a high school teacher who's had a profound impact on your life.
For many students at Breck, they would say Margaret Wong was one such teacher. Here is Alexandra Renslow.
At the Breck School in Golden Valley, students are getting a Chinese lesson focused on cooking. Teacher Margaret Wong follows a recipe for Chinese dumplings. But Wong's vision for her students is larger than that.
Most people think that teaching is to teach the subject. No, but I've been lucky enough to teach a language and the culture because of my own background.
Okay, some of these books.
Wong left China in the 1950s. She started the Chinese language program at Breck in 1979. That was a time when many shook their heads about its relevance.
I remember in the early years, people always question, why do we even offer it? But the main reason Breck started Chinese was because our headmaster at the time studied Chinese himself.
Her classroom is filled with Chinese culture.
Peonies are the Chinese national flower, just as the American rose is the American national flower.
Over the last 36 years, she's taught hundreds of Breck students Chinese, starting as kindergarteners.
Love it.
But her lessons are always more than just characters and tones.
Margaret has taught students about being global citizens, about the impact that their choices have beyond the walls of our school.
Wong has led 32 trips to China with her students, along the way introducing them to Chinese students who are studying hard to learn English. And Wong now has former Breck students who are living and working in China.
For our students to be able to see that and see that these kinds of lessons, both in terms of the language but also in terms of interacting with other cultures, really carry beyond our walls and into their futures is enormous.
Just days from retirement, the 74-year-old Wong may be teaching one of her last lessons, but she hopes the takeaway for all her students is to be lifelong learners.
What I teach them in Chinese is not just the vocabulary or the characters. I want them to learn how to learn these things on their own when they leave me.
Again, Alexander Renslow reporting. Well, Wong helped start the school's Chinese program decades ago. Now there's 7 teachers at Breck who teach Chinese and 500 students enrolled in the classes. You know, they didn't offer Chinese when I was in high school.
Me either, but I sure would go along with her on a trip to China, for
Yes,
sure.
indeed.
She could lead it. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, coming up, excitement in Crystal over a game growing in popularity.
But first, local tennis players take aim at spots in the state tournament. That's coming up in sports with Jay Wilcox.
Welcome back. Jay's here now with sports, and it's do or die time for high school baseball.
You get all excited for the playoffs, and then it can end in a hurry, but if you play well, you keep on moving on. The Armstrong baseball team is hoping to repeat as Section 6 3A champion. The Falcons are now into the championship round. They faced Hopkins in winners bracket play earlier in the week. Royals ace Robbie Palkert sails through the first 2 innings, but runs into trouble in the third. Corey Gilbert lifts a fly ball to short center. The Falcons are aggressive on the play. Alex Proctor tags up and scores the game's first run. And with the infield in, Troy Olette grounds to second base. Ricky Reed dashes in and he just beats the tag. It's 2-0 Falcons. And their strong inning continues. Josh Thorpe grounds it to the left side. It's knocked down, but the Royals have no play. Armstrong gets 5 runs in the third. Jordan Kuznia's defense has some tough moments, but they also make some really big plays. Shortstop Reed starts a great 6-4-3 double play. Armstrong wins 5-1. They added a win over Minneapolis Southwest to move into the final round on Tuesday. Cooper and Wayzata are also still alive in the section. Local IMAC conference teams Providence Academy and Breck met up in the winners bracket in Section 5 2A. Arnold Clare's Field in Loretto, the site for this night game. Providence is in white. They get on the board as Michael Burns tags it a long way to right center. Matthew Ferreira is the second of 2 runners to score on a double for Burns, and it's 2-0 Lions. Still in the second, and Daniel Fafinski hits it deep to left center. Burns scores easily on a triple for Fafinski. Providence grabs an early 3-0 lead. Providence dominates this one. They erupt in the 5th. Jackson Baird pokes a hit up the middle past a drawn-in infield to score Jackson Sunderby to make it 6-1. Baird advances to third, and he is coming home on the pitch here. He steals home easily. Providence rolls past Breck 11-1 and 5 to move into the winners bracket final. The Maple Grove softball team finished as state runner-up in Class 3A last season, and they will be headed back to the Mankato area in the week ahead. Maple Grove meeting Rogers in the Section 5 3A final. It's 0-0 in the 4th. Hannah Lund singles to short left. Sophie Zwak dashes home from second to score the game's first run. Maple Grove leads it 1-0. Crimson ace pitcher Sydney Smith gives up 3 singles in a row in the top of the 5th, but she gets out of the jam with a strikeout and then this fly ball to short left. In the bottom half of the 5th, Megan Mulcrone bounces to short. The throw home from Rogers is low. Sammy Sadler is in to make it 2-0 Crimson. Rogers puts runners at second and third in the 7th, but Smith gets the big strikeout to end it. She strikes out 13. Maple Grove is going back to state with a 2-0 win. After team champions were crowned last week, spots in the singles and doubles portion of the state boys tennis tournament were on the line at section tournaments. Nick Beatty of Wayzata is the defending state class AA singles champion. He faces Aaron Goodman of St. Louis Park in the 6AA final. Goodman makes a couple of returns here before Beatty will put away a shot into the open court for a point. And later in the first set, Beatty's in the far court, and it's a good rally, but again, Beatty doesn't make a mistake, and he'll put away a tough forehand winner for the Trojans. Then on set point with Goodman serving, Beatty with a strong return here for a point. He wins 6-1, 6-0 to win the section title. He's headed back to state. In 6AA doubles play, Armstrong's Hunter Fernelius serving. His partner Joe Lipovitz puts away the return against Wayzata's Steele Kowalczyk and Nick Kasner. Then on match point in the second set, Kasner and Fernelius return a couple shots back and forth. Kowalczyk's lob will be hit back softly by Fernelius, and the return goes into the net as Fernelius and Lipovitz win this third place match in straight sets. They then beat a Washburn duo for true second, and they advance to state also. Maple Grove's Charlie Adkins and Sam Hochberger playing in the Section 5 AA doubles semis, facing Centennial's Peter Kelly and Connor Lund. Adkins slices a nice backhand volley to win the point as the Crimson duo gets off to a good start. On the other side of the net now, Adkins will take a great point with a leaping volley as Adkins and Hochberger win easily. They also cruise past a Mounds View team in the final, so they're looking tough heading into the state tournament. That state tennis tournament's a lot of fun.
Yeah, some great programs there.
That's right.
Thanks, Jay.
Well, still ahead, the place in Crystal where nature and sport come together.
We'll take you to the park where there's reason for growing excitement. Up next. Golfers will be commingling with soccer balls at Brooklyn Golf Club in Brooklyn Park. The public facility is celebrating its new 9-hole foot golf course. Foot golf blends soccer with golf rules. The goal is to kick the ball into 21-inch diameter cups. And if it sounds strange, foot golf is actually one of the fastest growing sports in Europe. So we'll see how it does here. Finally, another increasingly popular activity is getting a big boost in Crystal.
Bassett Creek Park in Crystal is the home of a popular disc golf course, which is in the process of expanding. Photojournalist Dustin Scholl shows us how excitement is already building.
This is a good course. I've been to a lot around Minnesota, and this is one of the best.
And it's also nice the way it wraps around the park. You actually see a little more than just a Frisbee golf course when you play it. You get a lot of everything in with this park. The water doesn't really interrupt the play, but it's part of the scene.
I love the course. We'll play, man, not to lie, every other day.
Disc golf has really exploded. I started doing disc golf leagues 22 years ago, and Bassett Creek was among my 3 that I was doing at that time. Let's go ahead and let's fill this all the way up to the brim. And what we're doing right now is we've worked with the Bassett Creek Advisory Board to put the disc golf course up to 15. The ultimate goal is to get it to be 18 disc golf baskets out here. Last year and this year we've been taking an extra $1 per person, and they freely give it to us because they want the improvements, they see the action going on, they want to be part of it. We're done doing any saw work right now.
I think it's really great that they're wanting to put work into it and getting donations from the community in both like time and money.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
To keep what we have going and expand it a little bit.
This is our brand new hole 3, and we're shooting from the far side, coming back to the basket here.
As far as I've seen, everybody's liking what they're seeing.
I'm excited about it for sure.
Definitely excited to see more expansions, more holes added to this park. It's awesome.
The players are going to be looking straight down the runway and taking a shot straight ahead and try to make sure they avoid the trees.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the course develop, and I think everybody else who plays out here would love to see 18 help the disc golf community and the community as a whole.
The Bassett Creek Disc Golf Course hopes to have an additional 3 holes ready by July. The goal is to make it a full 18-hole course, something that could happen by fall. Now, one of the things that always fascinated me by watching that is I think of when I used to play Frisbee, I'd toss it and go just flying off into another direction. So it's great to see that they can do that.
Looks like fun.
Yeah.
See you later, everybody.